Okay, folks, just a moment. I'm pulling something up. Okay, allow me to thank you all for joining us for the final Groom Zoom event, and we're going to have a great time. But I do have a couple of things to address. For anyone who hasn't gotten to share everything they wanted to on a Zoom chat after tonight and through March 31st, John Bollack and Scott Dankel are going to do separate Boom podcasts for those who are either unable to participate and or still have things to say after tonight. However, you and anyone watching this on YouTube have a responsibility to get in contact with John or Scott. If you reach out to me, I will forward your contact info to them, and you can work out the time details with John or Scott and or Scott. They know exactly what I'm trying to accomplish, and I have full confidence in them. After tonight and through June 1st, my focus on the archive shifts to the archive obtaining digital copies of photos, flyers, merch, media, etc. Some of you have already been the giving kind, and I can't thank you enough for what's been received so far. But I ask all in this archive to help me go public on social media to ask those who might have these things to help with the book's content. Please and thank you. I'll be touching base with each and every one of you between now and June 1st regarding that. I'm also accepting email stories from others between now and June 1st as well. More than one person has contributed to the archive that way, and that's still an option for those who haven't contributed yet. Thank you. Now we move on. This archive to me was not an option to do. It was a must. And case in point is that we are losing many people that we knew, like Aaron Garcia and Andy Pfeiffer, way too soon during the production of this archive. The latter was a founding member of the band Bister 66, and we got word recently that frontman Chris Dellinger who owned the Wild Goose in Parker, still repping live music, has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Many of us in the group have supported his GoFundMe donation cause, and our thoughts are no doubt with him, his wife Lola, and their family. I reached out unsuccessfully to him last year, and it's not hard to figure out why I didn't hear back, given that it was revealed he was made aware of his condition well before it was made public. Chris and I did not have a lot of moments together, but I did have one in particular I will share. But however, John Bollack and Shane Marlatt have takes of their own, and John, we'll start with you.
I met Chris Dellinger way back in the early Rogue days. Blister and Rogue did a lot of shows together, and I got to know Chris. I actually ended up playing guitar at Chris Dellinger's wedding, his first wedding to Sonia.
Nice.
And Chris has been like I said in my internet post, he's been a stalwart of the Denver music scene since I remember. And when he comes down with stage 4 prostate cancer. That's not a secret. That was on the GoFundMe. Chris had was diagnosed stage 4 prostate cancer and has just been dealt a really crappy hand. The landlord of the Wild Goose decided now's the time to not renew leases and such and take the Goose building back. And so Chris not only is dealing with this cancer, but he's now dealing with the loss of a club.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Mine's
Thank you,
not
John.
very happy, but Shane's probably got a happier one.
All right, Shane, do it.
All right. I know Chris since I tried to pin down the exact year. I want to say mid 93. I'm pretty sure I had my band built and we're trying to get up to speed to get out and start playing on the scene. And I was looking for an apartment and I was down south, I think on Hampton and I don't know, out west. And I found this really great place, apartment complex with like a little lake behind it, kind of a hidden lake. And I was heading down to that lake to check it out. And I come across this dude, this studly looking freaking strutting guy with, if I remember correctly, he had long blonde hair back then. And I was like, hey man, dig your hair, dude. And of course my hair was down. And he said, thanks, man. I dig your leather jacket. And so we start chatting. I get his name. He's Chris Dillinger. I said, well, you look like a fucking rock star. Who are you? He said, well, I'm trying, man. He said, I'm with a band called, let me see. I want to say it was Psycho Holiday. Does that sound correct?
Sounds
Actually,
correct.
I'm sure it's correct. I actually went to AI and looked him up. So yeah, it was Psycho Holiday. I had to do a little bit of research, but we got to chatting, and he was just the most down to earth, real cool guy I'd talked to in a long time. I had started, we weren't playing out yet, but we were going out and meeting bands, and there was a lot of arrogant people out there, and there was a lot of pettiness, back in the early 90s. Jealousy, but it's tough. It's a tough business we're in. So I ran into a lot of that. But boy, when I met Chris, it was a totally different story. That guy was so cool and so uplifting. He's like, dude, he told me, his band name. I'm like, that's awesome. And he asked me what mine was. And I told him Peace, Love, and Destruction. He's like, that's the coolest fucking name I've ever heard, dude. He said, I can't wait to play with you out on the scene. And sure as shit, we got to play with him. I don't remember if we ever actually played with Psycho Holiday, but I remember seeing him play a lot. And then I watched him transition into Blister 66. And holy shit, that guy was a genuine rock star. You knew it looking at the guy, and I'm in a room full of rock stars right here. I mean, Johnny, Jesus, you're the real deal. We all are. I tell people that, I come from a scene that was chock full of rock stars. And if we'd have just avoided one thing, our scene would have exploded. We'd have been the next freaking, LA or Seattle. But man, Chris was cool. He was down to earth, and I'm sure he still is. I just haven't talked to him in 20 years. I really like that guy, and all that I have of him is great memories, man. I just wanted to share that personal story I wasn't even playing out yet. My band played for 30 years. So that's how far back I go, knowing Chris and respecting that man.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Shane. I did not have very many run-ins with Dellinger, but I did go to a Gothic show, Sick Blister 66 reunion in '08, and I was hanging out with Chris Romero at the time, and that's where I really formally met Chris. And I just asked them both. I said, "Okay, between you two, which one of you is the better front man?" And Romero just wanted to smack me upside my head. He's like, "That's not a fair bleeping question to ask," and it wasn't. But in my conversation with the pair of them, there was such mutual respect between the pair, and that friendship exists today. And I just want to tell Chris, his wife Lola, and his family, hey, us here at the archive, our thoughts are with you, and we wish you the best moving forward, and that will be that.
Can't tell the story of the Denver scene without Chris Dellinger.
No, you can't.
That's a fact.